everyone. How are you this afternoon? Good after lunch? Ready to see some cute dog videos? Yay. Thank you all for being here at Digital Synergy, using technology to increase life-saving. We're really excited to be talking to you all today about all sorts of things with technology. We're really going to focus today on two separate sections. So one is going to be about short-form videos and how you can create and utilize short-form videos to get more support for your organization and save more lives in the process, get more pets out of the shelter. And then at the end, we're going to be talking a little bit about our website and using your website to increase customer service as well as bringing in more community support. So lots of things today. I will mention that we do have a handout that is in the app. If you have added if you've added this session to your schedule, you'll be able to get the handout that will have a how-to video on how to create some short-form videos and also some step-by-step instructions. Yeah. So a little bit about us. My name is Tori Fugate. I'm the Chief Communications Officer at KC Pet Project. We are the nonprofit organization that operates the Kansas City, Missouri Animal Shelter. So I started with the organization in March of 2012, been there a little over 12 years, and I have a bachelor's in advertising, so kind of learned a little bit about marketing throughout my college age and going through all my career. I've worked for the Kansas City Chiefs, worked in baseball, worked in other nonprofits, and then ended up working at an animal shelter 12 years ago. And I've had the really unique opportunity. I started in the third month of the organization and have been able to build up the organization into what it is today, where we basically started with nobody knew who we were, and today we have a lot of followers on our social media accounts, and people tend to know KC Pet Project, especially around the Kansas City, Missouri area. And then Katie?
Yes, hello, my name is Katie Grissom. I have been at KC Pet Project for a little over 5 years. However, I've been in the animal sheltering industry for about 10 years. I graduated with a degree in graphic design back in 2011 and have worked in both the nonprofit and for-profit settings in the marketing setting. So I have worked with clients such as Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America, Spirit Airlines, IHOP, Applebee's, Wingstop. It could go on and on and on. So I have a lot of experience with marketing in all big companies, small companies, and all of that. So for KC Pet Project, while most of my work is design and brand, maintaining our brand guidelines, I also help with photography, video, and with what we're talking about today, short form video.
A little bit about KC Pet Project. So we were established in 2012 to take over the Kansas City, Missouri Animal Shelter. I mentioned that we are a nonprofit, so we're a quasi-government agency. We have a city contract. We also have the animal services contract for the city of Kansas City, Missouri. We started out taking about 6,000 animals a year in, and now we're at 16,000 animals a year. We're going in the wrong direction, but we're working on it. I'm like, that's too many, it's too many. So we got a lot of work to do in Kansas City, but this is our beautiful shelter that we opened in 2020. Before that, we were basically in a construction shed out in the middle of nowhere. We had vet clinics that were in trailers. Like, it was just, you know, a rough start, but we're now one of the largest shelters in the state of, we are the largest shelter in the state of Missouri, and definitely in Kansas City as well. We do have several different marketing strategies, and I am all about grassroots marketing at KC Pet Project. We don't do a lot of paid marketing. Everything that we do is organic and just working to get the word out about everything that we do. So social media is really the big thing that we're using. We use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter a little bit, X, just a tiny bit, hardly using it anymore. So really it's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are our biggest ones. We do have a very robust website that we'll talk about a little bit later, but we have about 75,000 to 90,000 people that visit our website every month. So we try to keep that very up to date and current with everything going on. We do TV and radio, a little bit of advertising, but really I'm trying to get us on TV as much as I possibly can, because TV is free advertising for us. So I'm putting out press releases, calling the media, trying to get them out as much as I possibly can. And then we do email marketing through Constant Contact and just letting people know what's happening at the shelter, but we're adding all the people in, donors, adopters, fosters, volunteers, adding them all in as they come and visit the shelter and get involved with us. We also are a nonprofit, so we do direct mail, fundraising initiatives. We do a lot of events out in the community. I am a big proponent of just going to a brewery and hanging out at a table and telling people about Casey Pet Project. It's amazing how many people that we've gotten involved because of just going and setting up a table somewhere. We do community paper advertising, flyers at community centers, so much more, Spanish radio. Like, we're doing a lot more trying to be out in the community so we can make sure that we have a lot of fresh followers, people know about our programs and services that we offer. And then all throughout the day, we're going to be talking about transparency. We are a very transparent organization. We try to get the word out about our struggles, our wins, our challenges, because if we don't tell the people what's happening at the shelter, they do not know how they can help us. So we're going to talk a lot about transparency and how important that is to bring in community engagement. And the big thing that we're also going to talk about today is storytelling. So we are a big storytelling organization. We try to focus on the pets that are in the shelter and telling their stories, talking about our staff, talking about our volunteers. Everything that we do is about storytelling. So I love this photo because it was like somebody posted it. We have this, we use Slack at our shelter, and somebody posted it in our Feel Good channel, and it was just like, Onyx was in on the joke that we were all laughing at. And it's just like so cute that they were just laughing together. And a photo can tell 1,000 words. This is a happy dog. He's just hanging out in our vet clinic with our staff. Even if it's a black and white photo, it can be dramatic, showing what's happening at the shelter, telling a compelling story. And with the story, it's going to be a bumpy road at first when you're starting this out, but as you keep doing it, keep talking about the things that you're doing, that's just going to build up this momentum that you're just going to be able to do these things secondhand all the time. And we're going to talk about how you can create these really, really compelling videos that will actually make a huge difference at your organizations, your rescue group, whoever you are today that's in the room. You're going to be able to take home hopefully some good tips and tricks today. And I love that Katie always talks about this. It's like, how was your day, dear? Like, think about if you went home and somebody asked, how was your day today? And you just started, as all of us do when we go home, sometimes it's like word vomit out all the things that we did that day. But really, when you're telling these stories, you're telling the community what's happening at your shelter. You're trying to get them involved in your rescue group. Like, you're telling them all the things that's happening that they can do to help you and get you involved. And think about it with fresh eyes too, because we do this day in, day out. We kind of forget sometimes the basic things that we need to talk about and that the community may not know. So, poll your friends, talk to them and say, what do you wish you knew more about the organization I work for? Did you know that we have this program? If they say no, put together something that you can talk about so that the community also knows about it. Because if your friends, the closest people to you that you probably talk about work a lot to, if they don't know, then the community doesn't know as well. So take a step back and imagine what it was like before you worked in animal welfare and tell your stories in a way that will resonate with people that don't know this industry like we do. And now I'm going to hand it over to Katie because she's the one that's making all these videos, so she's going to talk to you about it.
All right. So I'm going to go back here for just a second. Just push in this one here. Yep. Okay. So if you haven't realized, short-form video is taking over the social media landscape. And if you haven't jumped on this train, that train is currently at the station, and you really should be buying your ticket and jumping on as soon as you possibly can. I know for Casey Pet Project, this has been extremely beneficial for us. We've been doing short-form video for several years now. And it has not only helped get pets adopted, but it has helped us relay our programs to the community, and it has raised a significant amount of donations for our organization. It has been extremely beneficial. Now, I know when going into this, sometimes thinking about doing video can be a bit overwhelming. I know we are all very busy. I truly, truly do know that we're all very busy. We all wear different hats and, all that good stuff. What I want to do today is make sure that I present the most easiest way I have found to do it, to make it streamlined. And practice makes perfect, the old saying. Okay, So I'm actually going to start this section of our presentation by going through 2 pages of our brand guidelines. So KC Pet Project, I come from a design agency background where we did branding all the time for different companies. So we always did brand books. And brand books, if you don't have one, I do suggest you look into creating one, even if it's just a really high level aspect of it. It helps you keep your brand consistent, and it's also recognizable to your community and beyond. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about our voice as a brand and also our photography and video as a brand, which directly impacts our short form video. So as our voice, we are very informative whenever we post anything to the public. So we include data. We also include informative information that is extremely transparent to our community. This helps create a bond and trust with our community, and it's extremely important for us. We are always preserving that human-animal bond. So we are always speaking about our efforts in the field as becoming a resource for not only pets, but the people that love them. That is very big for us, and I'm sure a lot of people are seeing this huge shift in our industry where we're not only focusing on the pets, but we're focusing on our community so pets stay with the people. We are optimistic. We are very optimistic about the future of KC Pet Project and Kansas City. We are always telling stories that inspire people and ultimately take action by donating, fostering, all that good stuff. We are real. So we strive so hard to connect with our audience by telling real, authentic stories that will touch the hearts of our community and also in return gain more supporters that way. For our photography, our overall photography is very authentic. You're going to hear me say authentic and real a lot. It is very important to us. But our photography is very natural. It is very authentic. What we try to do with our photography is we show pets in a very happy demeanor and in a very happy environment. Now, I will say there are some exceptions to the rule. Like there are always an option or always a place for maybe a little bit more sad photo, just depending on the situation, but we do try to keep that happy demeanor. We also try to, as very much as possible, include people in our photos. We include staff and volunteers interacting with our pets. We also strive to show diversity, which is very important. And again, we convey happy and bright environments, and we try to capture authentic, in the moment photos. So nothing that is super staged. Of course, that has to happen sometimes, but we really try to keep everything authentic. And with that, we do not over-edit our videos. We do not use stock photos. Again, we don't overly stage our photos. So we have 2 people on our team, me and Abigail, who do these photos, so we don't have to use those stock photos. So now going into video creation. The good news is, you guys, we don't need a filmmaking degree anymore. We don't need the fancy stuff. We need exactly what people are holding up right now, just the cell phones, what you have on you all the time. If you add your cell phone with a really easy to use video editing app, you have everything you need to start posting short form videos. And this is going to create such a different level of connection with your audience that we haven't seen through just static posts. It has been absolutely fantastic. So the next slide that I'll be on will show you a couple of apps that I prefer. They're super easy. There's a free option and there is a paid version, so I'll show you those here in a second. Also, since you have your phone on you all the time, make sure that you're always ready to take video. I cannot tell you how many times that I have left my phone at my desk and have come across a photo just like this. This literally happened, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. I was doing a bunch of video in our vet clinic. We were adding it to our Instagram stories just as like a day in the life. And I was kind of done for the day with that. We had, created a ton of content. And I walked out to go to the bathroom. And as Daisy, who is a fantastic employee of ours, was walking out with 2 carts of puppies, going to their kennel after surgery. So it was such a great closing day in the life of our vet clinic of that. And if I didn't have my phone, I would have totally missed that. And people loved that section of our stories. When you take video, I want you to take even more video. So mostly our short form videos are 90 seconds long. And what my sweet spot is getting 4 minutes of content for a 90-second video. This has ensured that I have amazing clips to choose from. So at the very least 4 minutes. You'll be surprised after you take the content. You might end up with 12 minutes. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it took that much. But then again, you even have more content once you condense that into that short video, you're gonna have so many amazing clips in that. Also, we are a population, that has a very short attention span. When I was researching this, I had read, this has now been debunked, but it was funny to me, I'd read that goldfish has a longer attention span than we do. That is not true, but we do have a very short attention span. So something that I do even further within our clips once I splice them together is I make sure our clips are no longer than 5 seconds long. So as they're going through, they're seeing a very compelling clip after a very compelling clip. It engages them and it takes them all the way to the end of your video where that important call to action is usually at. And then where we post. We post mostly on TikTok and Instagram Reels. We do sometimes post our short form videos on Facebook. That is mostly reserved for bigger stories and for campaigns like Giving Tuesday, we'll post some stuff on there. So that's where we post. Okay, so this is how to make a video. So this is gonna be kind of a really high level. If you have more in-depth questions for me about making videos, definitely reach out to me. I'm more than willing to share. On the, what side is it for you? The left side of that slide, these are the 2 editing apps that I have used. So if you have the Adobe Creative Suite, the Adobe Rush is actually free for you, and it is a phone app, super easy. It's like basic stuff where you can splice clips together. And if you don't have it, I think it's maybe $9 a month. But what we have actually are using now and we've used for the past 6 months is CapCut. We use the free version. And we have used it for, like I said, 6 months and haven't had the need to use the paid version for it. So if you don't know what CapCut is, I think it is partnered with TikTok because you can post directly from CapCut to TikTok. So a great thing about CapCut is it is not only a very easy editing app, but it also has templates. So you literally will choose the template you like. You can choose your videos that you have on your phone, and it cuts it and splices it all together, and it's ready to go for you. So it's very easy, and it saves a ton of time. Okay, so now once you import your videos, you're going to, if you don't decide to do a template, you're going to want to choose the most compelling clips for your video. And you want to stick with clips that contribute to the story. Examples of this is like if you're getting a dog out for the day and bringing it into an office, you're going to want to use the clips that are like every single thing that dog did that day. Even down to them taking like a stress-free nap in a quiet office. So you really want to choose a variety of clips that are really going to tell that story. Okay, so now that you have your video all together and you have your clips and you have your 90 seconds, it doesn't have to be 90 seconds, that's just what we do. It is time to bring it into TikTok, Instagram, whatever one you choose, and to upload it and decide your style. And what I mean by style is you need to decide how your audience is going to consume your story. So there's several different ways to do this, and you can do this through the app. And I will mention at least TikTok and Instagram have their own editing apps within their software, which is very easy to use too. It's just, there's no right or wrong answer, it's just kind of what you prefer. But you want to decide, will your audience read your story through text on screen? Are they going to hear your story through voiceover, which is what we actually prefer? Or are they going to read the story, excuse me, through the caption? So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that. Like I said, we do definitely prefer voiceover. If you recognize my voice, it is probably because I am the voiceover person on all of our TikToks and Instagram Reels that we do. We choose that because it is the most natural and best way to convey emotion. There is something about hearing someone else's, another human voice, that just connects on a different level. If you're not comfortable with voiceover, that's okay. It was really nerve-wracking at first whenever I started doing it, and it took me a couple of times to really get used to it. Now I do it without even thinking. But you can choose music to convey emotion. Most of these apps have a music library that you can just choose the right type of music for your video, and it'll just play as background music for that. So if you're not used to doing that, music is going to work just fine. After you've done all that, it is time to write your caption, use some hashtags, some relevant hashtags, and your cover image. It does give you an option to choose part of your video as you want as your cover image. Usually what I choose is just a really good face of the dog or cat that we use. These days, I will say that TikTok and Instagram use search engine optimization through their captions. They rely on that a lot. So if you don't know much about search engine optimization, it's really just about using really specific keywords that are very specific to your video in order to reach more people. All right, techniques for success. So what works today doesn't mean that it's going to work 6 months from now, because social media is changing all the time. So these are, what I've included here are things that we've kind of used over the past several years that has proven to work for us. Showing pets being pets. It is so fantastic to see those like website dating videos for dogs. Like there is an option for that, but we love to see the actual dog and actual environments and how they interact with their environment. So of course it's great to get them setting for treats and all of that, but man, bring out a tennis ball and you will see a different side of a dog. Bring out a volunteer to interact with that dog so that people can see how they actually interact with that dog. Also, bringing a dog out of the kennel, out of maybe play yards or something like that, and bringing them inside the office so you have, as much as you possibly can, see that home setting for them. Don't focus on going viral. It is going to drive you absolutely insane if you focus on the numbers. What you really should focus on, and what has saved my sanity, is focusing on the storytelling. Focus on quality of the video and quality of the information you're giving out, and I guarantee you will have the people come to you. So if it's just something fantastic. Once you tell a story and it's a great story, you will see people coming out of the woodwork to not only support, but maybe even donate to that story. Okay, so something back to harder for place dogs. Of course, we have those dating website videos that you could do. But again, if you haven't seen any, and I think we'll show some videos that show it, but we often bring dogs into our admin offices for the day, so it's a day in the life for them. So it's just a different way to show the different personalities of this dog. All right, so after you post your video, now you set and you just wait. You just wait for people to comment. No. What you actually do, it's great to be the first to comment. Start a conversation, ask a question. I have done, it could be as simple as asking them, if you could name that dog, what would you name it? And I can't even tell you how many comments you'll get for that, because people love naming dogs. So be the first to comment, even if it's just liking comments. And then keep posting. Not every video is going to do wonderful, and that is okay. That is okay. In this fast-paced world, this video has its 15 minutes of fame, and then we go on to the next one. So keep trying and don't give up. All right, so we have some just quick ideas for you. These are some of the stuff that we do throughout our short-form videos. We highlight all of our programs. That has been we have many programs, so that has been fantastic to get out to the community. We are showing what we are doing in the community. Abigail and I, who are both getting all this content, have done many ride-alongs with our animal services teams and our outreach teams, and that has always been such great videos for people to see. Telling stories through the voice of the people you support, so doing interviews, even if it's just grabbing a volunteer and saying, hey, why do you like volunteering, and would you want to do just I don't know, a 10-second interview, 30-second interview. Adoption stories are always great. Seeing a dog walk out of that shelter for the last time, that is a thing that gets people all the time, seeing them walk out. Another great way to think about it, and Tori kind of touched on this, is we're in this every day, so we kind of get these blinders. But think about the very first day you walked into your shelter or started with your rescue. What were the things that surprised you and you were just awestruck by? Those are the things that are going to be fantastic for your audience to learn about. Educational content. Of course, I think we're still, at least in Kansas City, in the midst of kitten season. So you can always do, if you find a kitten, what do you do? If you find a litter of kittens, what do you do? If you found a lost dog or lost a dog, what are the steps? And create a challenge and add a hashtag to it. There's always, of course, these trends going on TikTok that you can join in on. Just make sure that you're adding some value to that trend and have maybe a call to action at the end, just so it's more beneficial for you. And tell your origin story. Why not? We all have great stories of how our organizations have begun, so why not share that story? Okay, and now we're going to some really cool videos.
Now let's look at some cute pets.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Katie. And again, all of that, there's a handout that basically just talks about everything that we just did. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we're gonna make sure that our video volume is up. Here we go. Let's look at some cute videos of all of this stuff that we just talked about and wrap it up into some.
This morning, our vet clinic team asked us to bring Onyx into our admin offices for a day-long break from his kennel. And of course, we had to start out this video by showing you just how loved he is in our vet clinic. He was showered with treats, toys, and of course, affection. Onyx is 6 years old and has been at our shelter several times. Recently, Onyx was actually brought into our shelter because of cruelty. Regardless of what Onyx has experienced in his life, we do know that he knows love. And that is all because of our staff and volunteers at KC Pet Project. Onyx can go home with other dogs, but he will need to meet any dog in the home before adopting. And we are suggesting that he goes home with older kids. We love seeing such joyous interaction with our pets and our staff at the shelter. It's a testament of just how dedicated and compassionate they are about these animals. In our admin offices, Onyx enjoyed even more affection. We think his perfect day would be just lounging on the couch with you and watching a good movie. Onyx also enjoyed roaming around the office and getting some much-needed enrichment. After a very full day of exploring new places and meeting new people, Onyx got that very precious, stress-free nap. This morning, our vet clinic team asked us to
watch it again. So, Onyx, yeah, you can clap. So Onyx had been at the shelter for like 3 months, and the vet clinic was like, we gotta promote this dog. He had been there a long time, and right now we are getting 40 to 60 new animals a day, sometimes up to 80 animals a day. We are having to euthanize some, because we are getting so full all the time. So whenever this happens, it's kind of like our team is activated to basically put together these videos to try to get these dogs out of there. And so he was an at-risk dog. All of our at-risk pets are free to adopt. So it's a big incentive to come and adopt them. I love this video because Katie just goes through basically like a dog's bio in a very non-threatening way. So this dog can't really go home with small children because we have a history of it. He needs to meet other dogs just in case. So, but she talks about it in a way that is not like, oh, this dog, I don't know if I can handle this dog. It's like, it's in a calm demeanor, mentions, all of his lovely personality traits, shows how much he is loved by all of the staff. So we posted this video. It did way better on Instagram than it did on TikTok, and a family called us, and they drove from Louisiana to Kansas City to come and get him. So, and he had been there for 3 months, but they immediately said, we want to adopt him based on this video that we saw of him. So it was a success.
This morning,
Such a success. All right.
Today we had 2 adorable kittens who are full of personality in our feline foster room. We thought this would be a good opportunity to remind everyone that kitten season is upon us. Yes, kitten season is a very real thing. Soon we'll see litters of kittens coming through our doors. And there are plenty of ways you can help support these tiny little lives. You can always donate through our website to help purchase supplies. Or you can provide in-kind donations like kitten food and blankets. But one of the most crucial things we'll need during this time is foster homes. Kittens at this age have underdeveloped immune systems, so providing them a healthy environment away from the shelter is important. And did you know that when you foster, we supply all the supplies you need in order to be successful? Learn more by visiting the link in our bio.
So that's just a great video to show like how you can get involved with kittens, how you can sign up. We make sure, visit the link in bio, go, to our website, sign up to foster, how they can donate, what they can donate. Also, did you know we have incubators? Like we have incubators at our shelter. And it would be great if we could actually do a live stream of the incubators because it's the cutest thing ever. Next up is Sheba.
Today we're giving very sweet Sheba a break from her kennel. One thing you're gonna see in this video is that Sheba never stops wagging her tail. She is one of the happiest dogs that we have ever had in our administrative offices. Sheba is 5 years old and knows to set for treats. She is a mellow and quiet dog, and her love language is affection. We showed her the toy box and helped her pick out a toy, but she really just wasn't interested. All she wanted was to sit by someone and get pets. Right after a very long nap, we went on a walk. Sheba walks amazing on the leash. Since it was a nice day outside, we decided to take a very long walk around the pond. As you can see by her face, she enjoyed every second of it. We even stopped for a second to enjoy the pond. After our walk, one of our staff members, Maury, walked her back into admin. Maury recognized Sheba and told us that she is the nicest dog. Sheba walked so politely beside Maury, and once we got back into admin, she had a pup cup. After a few yummy treats, she took one more stress-free nap, and then it was time to go back to her kennel. If you're interested in adopting Sheba, come visit her at the Kansas City campus for animal care in Swope Park.
There's a few reasons that I love this video. One, it had 593,000 views on TikTok. She was adopted a day after it was posted. Again, she had been there for a little while and just needed a video to show her. Like the tail wagging was so cute, she's so smiley. And then Maury, who was our 81-year-old staff member, worked in our retail area. And it just showed like how great she walked with him. And like, wouldn't she be great if somebody who just needs to walk slow can, like you just need a dog that's just gonna be by your side the whole time. And it got her adopted. And everybody loved Maury so much that we actually made a whole TikTok series Monday with Maury.
Yep.
And it was very popular. He used to be a tour guide for the Kansas City Royals, so touring was like his whole thing. So we did Mondays with Maury where he would go around and talk about different things at the shelter. It was a huge hit, and he had this little tiny little microphone that he talked in, and it was just, they were amazing videos. And then we'd be remiss to not show Simon. I'm gonna show the video and talk about the impact after that.
in as a stray today in possibly one of the worst matted cases that we have ever seen. We can only guess how long it took for him to get into this condition, but one thing we know for sure is that life is about to get so much better for this boy. 2 of our veterinary clinic staff had the tedious job of shaving off every single mat. When he first came in and before we shaved him, he weighed about 20 pounds. Our 2 vet staff members worked for over 2 hours shaving him, and they shaved off around 6.5 pounds of fur. We never know what we're gonna see in terms of their skin condition when we take off the mats, but surprisingly, his skin is in fairly good shape. We are always so thankful for our veterinary staff and the hard work they put in every single day to create better lives for pets like him. This 11-year-old Shih Tzu came in as a...
So that's Simon. And this story, like, we had the vet clinic call us and they were like, you gotta come see this dog. And so we rushed in there, and one thing that Katie didn't mention is that literally we're like filming like this all the time. Like if you're ever like wanting to get on the dog's level, turn your phone down here, especially like those Shiba videos and everything when you're walking with them. But we literally like ran all in there and we were getting them from every single angle. And Katie said, like, we were in there for like 2 hours while they were shaving them all down. So you put this video up thinking, okay, it might resonate with a few people might like it. Immediately we were like, the next day we came in, we're like, it's at 12 million views overnight. So we were like, okay, so this could be something. And we went in the vet clinic, we were like, we need to name this dog. And they were coming up with all these crazy names. And I was like, no, like if the Today Show calls, I need to have a solid name for this dog. Bridgerton had just come out. So I was like, Simon it is. So we're gonna go with a Bridgerton name. And it's just like it exploded. It's at 77 million views today, which is wild. And it was our biggest social media account story that we've ever done, our biggest media story ever. I did interviews with like Taiwan, Norway. I was on the German version of the Today Show, ABC, CBS, like literally everybody was calling us to just talk about Simon and his story. We did I did news interviews with 15 different countries. The total reach from the news stories and broadcast mentions locally was 1.4 billion people over the course of about a week. So it was absolutely insane. The Dodo shares this story still all the time, and it's just like every single time we're like, here we go again. Like people like reach out to us wanting to feature it. And we did a lot of follow-up videos. So we just not only showed this one, but like how he was doing a few days later. We went live to show him because he was an instant celebrity. Then we showed the video of him getting adopted. He went to a home with 3 other Shih Tzus, and they all had X-Men names. So his name was actually Logan once he got adopted. And so in the interest of time, I'm gonna skip ahead to our website piece of it, but that's the short form video part. It's really been super, super effective for us, and I can't encourage you enough to start and just kind of get this process going because it is helping these dogs and cats get out of the shelter, and it's helping us save lives, especially some of the dogs that are more at risk of euthanasia. Whenever we're so full, we are seeing tremendous results of this. We're seeing fundraising results from it. People say you can't fundraise on TikTok. I'm here to say you can. Yeah. And it's been really, really effective. And Instagram for us is growing even more than TikTok right now. So if you're like, I can't do TikTok at my organization, you may be a government entity, do it on Instagram because it's working. So with the website, as we get ready to wrap up today's session, your website is really your first line of customer service. This is like my area. Like I'm really trying hard to make sure that everything that people need to know about our organization is on our website. And there's some things that you can do. This might seem overwhelming at first, but really like go to our website. If it's on there, steal it. I don't care. Like go and copy and paste, put information about your organization in there so that you have all of these tools at your disposal as well. So with it seems basic, but your contact information must be on there, like right front and center. Have your phone number at the top of the page so that people know how to reach you. Our shelter gets 5,000 to 6,000 calls a month to our helpline. We have to have a staff that supports our helpline, and that's separate from Animal Services Dispatch. Have your contact information, your address, how people can find you, your hours, all of that on there. And then resources. Make sure that you have all the resources on there. If you're a municipal shelter and you're trying to get lost pets back home, have lost and found pet information. On our website, you're gonna see that we have like what to do in your first hour if you find a pet, what to do in the second hour. Here's a flyer that you can use to post this pet to try to get it back home. Petco Love Lost, Paw Boost, Next Door, Neighbors. There's so many different options. It's like, just don't bring it here first. Like, do these things, please, before you bring this dog to us. And then behavior, post-adoption resources. We have all of that on our website so that we can easily direct people and adopters to that information even after they go back home. And other shelter contracts. Maybe they find a pet that is missing from another area and they need to figure out how to contact that municipality, have that information on there. If you have a low-cost spay-neuter clinic or any organization that's doing spay-neuter, especially these days, if there are low-cost services, highlight them, talk about them. Be sure to direct people to them all the time. And then if you haven't heard of pets.findhelp.com, this is a tremendous website. We actually have a brochure that's in English and Spanish that we give out at community events. It will direct people, they can put in their zip code and they can learn about housing initiatives or like housing rental information, if they are potentially going to be evicted, what they can do to help keep their pet. If there's food, if they need pet food, like all the pet pantries that are in your area, this is a great tool to give out to the community so that they have access to it. And they actually, it's on the Human Animal Support Services, HAS website. They have like website widgets that you can put on there that can live on all your pages. It's really, really nice. And then FAQ sections. Does somebody need to know what to do about a barking dog complaint? Put that on your website so that way you can direct people to that information. Or, you know, what do I need to know before I come and adopt a pet? Have that information on there. Your adoption pricing, like do you have specials all the time? What's included in their adoption? Think about all the things that you get asked all the time and have those FAQs on your website so that way you can easily just push people to that information. What to expect whenever they come and adopt, all of those things. And the big one with kittens, what to do if you find kittens. This is the kitten you bring to the shelter. This is one that's maybe being cared for you. You don't have to bring to the shelter. And then what to do to try to get them connected to spay-neuter services so then they don't have to bring the kittens in. So there's just a lot of different options. So we have a page that's dedicated to kitten information on our website and actually like photos that says this is a kitten that needs help. This one is being cared for by a mom. For technology, what we use to capture customer information, what we use for like all of our forms, we have about 200 forms that I manage for the organization. It's a lot. We use JotForms. If you've not used JotForms, it's an incredibly easy tool to use. We do have a paid version because we have so many forms, but it's very, very cost efficient. And if you are a nonprofit, you can also look at some technology through a website called TechSoup, that you can get a discount for a lot of services. I mentioned that we use Slack as an organization. We use Slack for free because we get it through TechSoup. Slack is a tremendous tool if you need a messaging system. It's really, really great. I use Google Analytics to track all of our website stats every month so I can see what pages are being visited, what pages aren't, and kind of directing people to those resources as needed. We use a program called PetBridge. If you go on our website, you'll be able to see that you can sort by breed, age, location on all of our adoption pet or our adoptable pets. We also have a pet alert system. We have a rehoming platform that people can post their own pets looking for a home. We also use Adopt a Pet's Rehome. And all of that is managed through a company called PetBridge. They're out of Wichita. I've loved working with them. We've been a partner of theirs for like 10 years. That pet alert system has currently 18,000 active alerts. Think if you had to manage that on your own. I would not do it. People are like, let me know when you get a Yorkie in, and I'm like, here it comes, and there it goes. Like I forgot in 5 minutes. So I would just direct people to the pet alert. And then with all of your forms, like your foster forms, volunteer information, all of that, I encourage you to use words like sign up, not an application. Application is for a job. You want to bring the community in, here's how you sign up to help us, and then here's the back end of how we're going to get you through the process very, very quickly. We also have a lot of resources on our website. So if you are a pet person who is needing to rehome your pet, that information is on our website. Here's all the things, all the resources available to you before you have to click this sign up to get an appointment for surrendering your pet. So being able to provide all of that information, I mentioned we do have a rehome platform on our website. We also have a playbook that's like, here's how you rehome your pet. Here's the adoption process. Like, here's the questions that you can ask. All of that information, again, is on our website. Steal it, please. And we mentioned the kittens. We have another one about community cats, what to do with community cats, especially like in the wintertime. We get a lot of people asking us questions about that. It's like, here's how you build a shelter for your community cats in your area. And again, here's our spay neuter resources that you have available to you. How to get lost pets back home. Again, the contact information for other shelters and the resources that we mentioned, like pets.findhelp.com. This is a big one that we used for our COVID times. All of our pets went into foster homes for the when the pandemic started. And so we built up a whole foster resources page. If you go to kcpetproject.org and search foster resources, you'll be able to find it. It is not a public page, like it's not in our main menu, but all of our fosters have access to this. The dog foster resources page has all the contact information, what to do if you lose your pet, what to do if there's a bite, what's your emergency contact. If you take home puppies, how to potty train them. Like, all of this information is on there so that the fosters aren't calling us being like, hey, I have a dog that won't go outside at all. What do I do? We can go to the foster resources page. That information is all there. It also talks about how to book a dog day out appointment. We are seeing tremendous success with our dog day out program. There's how-to guides, there's information about how to write bios, how to take pictures of your foster pet, and then how to send us those pictures so that we can promote it on our Facebook and Instagram. We also have a public at-risk list. These are all of the dogs that are at risk of potentially being euthanized at our shelter. They are all free to adopt. There's tons of information on this page. It's under the adoptions tab of our website that talks about why we have this list, what it means, what all of the colors mean, all of the codes and everything like that. And it just gives the community the access that they need to see this list at all times. So that transparency piece is very, very important. And that way they don't feel like you're hiding these dogs from you. I'm like, if you want to help, here's the list of 90 dogs you could help today. They're all free to adopt, and we would love to get them out of here, get them into a foster home, whatever we can do. And then data and transparency. We are so full at our shelters and in our rescue groups. The need is so great, but we have to be transparent and talk to the community about what we're experiencing. Why all of these pets are coming in? Is it because of XYZ? Like, literally look at your data and then present that data to the community. For us, the number one reasons that pets are coming into the shelter at KC Pet Project is a lack of affordable veterinary services and financial services for pet owners, and housing. Housing is the fastest growing reason why pets are coming into the shelter. So we talk about that a lot. You'll find we have our annual reports and statistics posted to our website. We also have our Teresa Johnson, our CEO, who's sitting down here, does these incredible reports every month that we present to the city, to our board of directors, and we also post it on social media and on our website that gives a high-level overview of everything that happened in the shelter in 30 days that our management team all does. It's absolutely incredible to see these reports. They're usually like 12 pages long. We have position statements, so if there's a hot button topic that everybody is kind of upset about in your community, I don't know about you, but sometimes we have people who are upset about something and want to talk about it on social media. I write position statements that say, this is our position, this is what we do as an organization. Also, here's how you can help us get to another point in our community, whatever it needs to be. We have those on our website. And then promoting how your community can help you. Keep talking about it. Fostering, adopting, volunteering, all of those things. And lastly, does all of this work? Yes. Is there still things that we need to be doing? Yes. But this will absolutely help you build it. Being honest, being open with your community will help you build trust and will help you bring in more support. Yes, you may be open to more criticism. Yes, that might come at you, but beyond the small bubble of people who are going to criticize you, there's a huge community out there that isn't talking to you on your Instagram posts that you put up. They're the ones that you need to reach to try to bring into your organization, because all of these things will absolutely help you. Bring in more adoptions, it'll bring in more volunteer support, more media exposure. This was a front page article last year about from the Kansas City Star that talked about what the crisis was we were experiencing at the shelter. And I told him, I was like, we're a month out from that article being posted. I think we should do another one because it's still the same. We need to keep talking about it. And it keeps your audiences engaged with your work. They know what's happening, and it brings in the community to support you. And that is our presentation. I am so sorry we don't have, we have 1 minute left if somebody has a hot burning question. If not, we will be out in the hallway. We are happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much.